5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time for liftoff. We're going where no one has ever gone before. This is Left Side of the Brain, the Organic Portal Destroyer. How you all doing today? Good. I heard you. You said you're doing good. Same here. It was raining. I was out today, did a little shopping. Well, not really shopping, but just really going places. Sometimes I just go places just to walk around and look at the scenery. And again, I was by myself. You know, I'm always chilling by myself. 98% of the time, I'm by myself. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Isaac LeBlanc. He passed the quiz. And I also like to give a shout out to Neo Smith. He also passed the quiz. And Infinite Consciousness. Please correct me if I'm getting these names wrong. But I know Infinite has been here for a while. I know Isaac has been here since the first channel, and I know Neo has been here for a while. So these are like veterans on the channel, people who was there since the first channel before it was removed. So I like to give a big shout out to those people. And also I've been looking at all of the comments. Someone left a real interesting comment, and they was referring to monk status. Because today's video I'm going into that monk status. But they left a comment and they were speaking about how they are a country monk. And what they mean by that is a country monk, meaning the person, what they were saying was the way they practice their monkship is by traveling to different places. And they were saying how by doing this, they can escape the matrix, like going to other countries and just, you know, experiencing different places. And I thought to myself, I was like, you know what, that's a real good comment. I said, I gotta say something about that on my next video, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm on this monk thing. Like, let's talk about being a monk. Now, being a monk doesn't mean you're sad. It doesn't mean that you are socially inadequate. You don't know how to communicate with people. That's not what it's about. Being a monk is like, it's something that you grow into. Over time, you will understand that you don't fit into this world. I mean, what can you say? I don't fit in, you don't fit in. You know, being a monk is a spiritual awakening. And being a monk doesn't mean you have to go live up in a Buddhist temple. It doesn't mean you have to beg for alms on the street like you see some Hindus do. See, those people are in different situations than us. You see, we are in the Western world. It's not like we just can get on a plane and just go overseas, because that would be too difficult. You know what I mean? We would have to learn another language. We're not from that culture. Again, this channel is about being practical. So everything has to have practicality to it in this battle of us versus, excuse me, I needed some water. Everything on this channel has to be practical in this this battle of us versus them. So being a monk means learning how to embrace your loneliness. That's one thing we started to speak about. Embracing your loneliness, understanding that loneliness is an entity. It is your consciousness, and it's there. Yes, loneliness exists. It's a person. It's an object. It's in your imagination, and you can project it, and you can feel its presence around you. And that presence is the spirit, that same spirit that speaks to you. So you're never alone. And that brings me up to this point of what I wanted to discuss today. And I wanted to touch on monkship. That's the name I'm gonna give it, monkship, and staying invisible, or the art of invisibility. And I was practicing that today. Like right now, Right now, I'm practicing invisibility on this rooftop. Nobody knows I'm right here. Um, you can walk around and in your mind, you can say to yourself that I am a walking invisible object. I did that today. You can actually see everything emanates from your consciousness. And you will notice that when you do that, if you say to yourself that I'm invisible while I'm walking around, you will notice that the whole world will seem like it's falling away from you. And you'll just be walking around in public. People won't even look your way. It's like you turn yourself into a spirit or a ghost. You'll be walking around, won't nobody even say nothing to you. You'll just fall out of existence. And it's cool. And if you want to do that, I suggest you just listen to my videos. And while I'm doing it sometimes, I'll be reading your comments, walking around laughing, reading different people's comments, looking at the ones that really stand out. I'll be doing that. Some people write. I even be reading the discussions that people be having amongst themselves on the channel. This is how I practice my monkship, and that's what I'm saying. I listen to a lot of philosophical lectures as well, like philosophers from like the early 1900s. I'll just listen to entire books. They have them on YouTube. You can just listen to them, walk around, put your headphones on. You won't have to say nothing to nobody, and you will be staying invisible. And what else came to me today? I practice martial arts, right? And I think I want to give a shout out also to Ace the Blind Introvert. He was telling me that he also studies martial arts. And I've been taking martial arts. I used to study under a teacher, but now I just do it on my own. But that's another video for another time. I might do that if you all ask me to do it. I'll do it. But what I was saying to myself was, invisibility, just like martial arts, it's a defense. It's a defense mechanism, because basically to avoid a fight is defense. It's a strategy. You can learn how to fight, but who really wants to fight? You see what I'm saying? Who really wants to fight when you don't have to? You see? So I thought about it. I said, staying to yourself, because this is a battle, it allows you to stay out of the fire or the bullets, the ammunition that's shooting. And how I put it together in my mind was like this. I said, the only time you really have peace, even though this is a war, is when you're in that invisible state. Because in that invisible state, there is also a moment of peace. They don't see you. Number one, they don't see you. And like they say, out of mind, out of sight. Out of sight. You get it? Like the sights on a rifle, a sniper's rifle. You will be out of mind and out of sight. And since this is a war, that invisibility is like a camouflage. So they can't train their weapons on you. But at the same time, you can be doing things to eliminate them. You can be doing things to eliminate them. It's like a Navy SEAL mission. You can be doing your covert stuff, like studying, building up yourself, your chi, all of that. And also, just by unplugging from the organic portal realm, that's one less person they have that they can vampire from. You see, you will avoid a lot of stress, a lot of unnecessary obstacles, I'll just pan around and let y'all see. I'm on the roof. You can avoid a lot of stress, a lot of unnecessary obstacles. You can avoid a lot of things just by staying to yourself, staying invisible. And when I was thinking about it, I thought about animals in nature. You see, all animals in nature, they have a camouflage. You know, like the predators, and even pretty much every animal in nature, it has a camouflage. And so what I'm saying, it goes right along with being natural. That's how we're supposed to be anyway. You know, a panther. When you think about a panther, you know, a jaguar is another name for them. Jaguars, they are black, and they stay in the shadows of the Amazon, and they roam around in solitude. And by the way, that's the mascot for this channel, the jaguar, and also the box turtle. But our main mascot is the jaguar. But these animals, they stay to themselves, and as long as they stay hidden, they can stay protected. Even though it's always a predator out, because everything in nature is kill or be killed. So even though it's a predator out, the moments when they are hidden, they are free. They are at peace. They can sleep at night, like a bird building a nest up in the treetops. They can sleep at night, and that's what it's all about. I was thinking today, since we are in an actual war of us versus them, it all boils down to survival. Making it to another day without being a victim or without being soul food. Because when they prey upon your soul, you are soul food. And that brings to mind something else I was thinking about. It's kind of off subject of what I'm speaking about, but I still got to say it. I was thinking today, see, these people, everybody has a spirit. Everything in nature has a spirit. It has a spirit, but everything doesn't have a soul. And everything that has a spirit doesn't mean that it comes from the spirit of the true light, the spirit of the divine, the spirit of that positive energy. Because just like everything else in nature, you have animals in nature, insects, parasites, and this is exactly what these people represent, because they are here to feast upon us. And that's why today's message is about camouflaging yourself, being a monk and staying invisible. And let me go more into that invisibility. Okay, invisibility is a psychic thing, because like I said, everything is consciousness. So really, I'm gonna be honest with you, you really walking around inside of your own mind. I'm talking to you. Pretend you right here. You are walking around inside of your own mind. Just like when you dream at night. Imagine the inner space of your mind is like a dome. You know, like them Colosseums and the people walking around in it. Well, think about this. If you close your eyes and start thinking about yourself, imagine you got a red shirt on and you walking around. Let's just say for this exercise, close your eyes. I'm gonna keep talking and you close your eyes. Close your eyes and imagine you have a red shirt on and you walking down your neighborhood street. You doing it? Now, you see yourself. What that means is you are walking around in your own mind, in your own space, in your own time. Now, tell yourself that you are invisible. And when you open your eyes, the only thing you are doing, you are projecting the inner space, and you are turning it to outer space. Because everything your brain sees, it sees it upside down, and then it projects it right side up. So any way you look at it, it's still coming from your mind. Is that basic enough? It's coming from your mind. It's like a hologram projector. So because you are the main character in your script, you can tell yourself, you are the script writer, you can tell yourself that I am invisible. Walk around invisible. And I guarantee you, people will not bother you. You'll be walking around and a person won't even say nothing to you. You know, case in point, I was at the shopping mall today and I had stopped at this stand, and this dude, he was talking to me. He said, that shirt you got on, he said, it looks like you from Miami or something. I was like, nah. I said, nah, I'm just walking around, just chilling. It was just some small talk or whatever. So then he handed me, by the way, this is the shirt I got on. So he was like, whatever, you know. So it was just some small talk, right? So then he handed me, you know, he extended his hand for me to shake his hand. Then I did like this, just to give him a pound, because I didn't want to shake his hand. And he was like, oh, okay, you gonna give me? I was like, yeah, man. I was like, it ain't nothing personal, man. But I just won't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't feeling his aura like that. Not saying that I won't, not saying that we gotta be super, let's not take it too extreme, but I was just in that moment that I didn't want to shake his hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no funny person that don't shake people's hands and whatnot. But here lately, well, since a long time, I really don't like doing that. Because you ever shook somebody's hand, and then when you take your hand back, it feels like you feel like funny or something, and it feel like their hand is still connected to your hand, but it don't feel like a good energy. It feel kind of fuzzy. Or you ever interacted with somebody and you can tell that after you finish speaking to them, you feel like, what's the word I want to use? You feel like guilty inside yourself for even talking to them. And you be getting on yourself like, man, I shouldn't even said nothing to that person. That's how it felt. And that's what I'm saying. Like, to avoid a lot of that, what you have to do is just stay invisible. Like, you don't have to see, when you talk to somebody, that person is like, let me give you an example. It's like that chair right there. You give it life by speaking to it, because you turn it on. You see what I'm saying? Don't even allow them, like, if you pick up something about a person, and if you absolutely don't have to speak to them, I'm talking about being a monk. Now, if you on your job, sometimes you gotta speak, but outside of your job, going into this monk status, don't do a lot of talking to people. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all an example. When I was at the mall, right, I went into this luggage shop. Y'all ever heard of those Samsonite bags? It's like luggage. It's called Samsonite. But anyway, it was a store that sold Samsonite luggage. So this lady was in there. It was two ladies up at the register. And it was one of them stores that don't get a lot of crowd. But anyway, one of the ladies notified the other lady. She said, oh, we have a customer. So the lady came up to me, and guess what I did? I pretended like I lost my voice. I was like, I pointed to my throat. I was like, my voice. I said, my voice gone. I said, my voice is gone, because I didn't feel like talking to her. You see what I'm saying? Like I did it as I was being a red pill and blue pill at the same time. You see, I didn't disrespect her. I didn't do anything like that. I just did that. I said my voice gone. I can't talk. I said my voice. She said, oh. And when I did that, she walked away. Cause I didn't feel like, see, if I would have opened up the door, that would have led to another conversation. It's just wasted time. Like I don't even like wasting too much time with these people that's not on this level. Because time is precious, time is energy. I can be using that time to make a video like I'm doing right now. I could be using that time to doing some sit-ups or something. You see what I'm saying? It's like I ain't got time to be wasting with organic portals. Cause I know all she want. See, this is another thing. When these people speak to you and they don't know you, they just trying to sell you something. You see what I'm saying? They just trying to get some form of energy from you. And money represents energy. You see? So they just trying to take something from you anyway. And I'm not going to give them that free option to come and just take from me. And I'm not getting nothing back in return for it except this guilty feeling of remorse inside of myself, smacking myself in my conscience, saying to myself, why in the world did you even waste your time talking to them, left side? That's what goes on in my brain, you see? And that's what I'm trying to, that's the message I'm trying to convey right now. Because being a monk is about conserving energy and using your time more wisely and building on your spiritual self. Because like I said yesterday, anything outside of this type of subject matter, it's a waste of time. It's either this, you're going to do this stuff right here, what we doing right now, or you're going to be a zombie. Which one? You decide. That's what it's going to be. You're going to either stick to this or you're going to be a zombie. And we getting closer to 2020. And it's like this. 2020 represents 2020 vision. The people that are blind, who suffer from DDB, deaf, dumb, and blind disease, they're going to either keep going further and further that way. And the people whose eyes are open now, by 2020, our eyes are just going to keep opening and opening and opening. That's all that's left. That's what's been shown to me. And we don't have no more time to waste any more breath on these people. I'm serious, people. We don't have no more time to waste. And this is a war. We are in a battle of us versus them. Every day we wake up. And it's serious. So I just like to edify each and every one of you that's on this level, that we have to take this thing serious. And monkship is the only option that's left. It's nothing else left. I like how somebody put it in the comment section. I don't remember the name, but somebody left a comment and they said, this life is like a low form of suicide. They put it like that some kind of way. They said it's like a low form of suicide. And I guess they was responding to what I said about how waking up every morning yesterday when I had did that video, and I was like, waking up every morning is like torture. And somebody also left another good comment, and they said, and it was kind of funny, they said the only people that enjoy waking up are these organic portals. They wake up in the morning on your job and with coffee, drinking coffee in your face, acting all jolly, and I started laughing when I read that, because it's true. It's absolutely true. Like, these organic portals, man, they having a good time out here. You know what I'm saying? And we the ones that's having to, like, when we on jobs and everything, our day-to-day life is just, ooh, it's a struggle, man. And that's why I'm saying this monkship is the only option. There's no other option left. I mean, that's why some people, they get sick before their time. They get gray hairs, get wrinkled before their time. They be stressed out, man. Because this world, man, these people, if you allow them, man, they'll stress you out. And I know people with souls, one thing about a person with a soul, you never gonna be able to get into that work routine. You know how some people, they be on the job, they always laughing and whistling. Like for me, when I would work on those jobs, I could never get into that work routine. I would always say to myself, is this what I'm supposed to do forever? Because you ever been on jobs, they be people on your job, you ask them how long they been there. Man, I've been here since 1976. I'm like, what? You mean to tell me you've been waking up every morning at the same time, cranking up your keys, getting in your car, clocking in on the same job? I mean, some of these people, they can tell you about the history of the job. Yeah, we used to have this person and they used to do such and such. Yeah, and don't do that because it used to be a man who worked here in 1985. He got fired for doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can tell you stories like they telling you Vietnam stories or something. I'm like, yo, that can't be me. You see, I could never conform to jobs and working like that. Like the type of work I do contract work. So therefore, I don't have nobody over me. But like working on them jobs and nah, man. Like not trying to knock anybody who have to clock in and do the 9 to 5 thing, because everybody is at their own point in life. But I know for me, you know, I could never conform to any type of social setting. I could be walking in a grocery store and feel out of place. I mean, it don't matter where I'm at. Like, I just don't feel in place, man. And that's a good thing. That lets me know that I'm not supposed to be here. And that's a good thing. I'm not saying to look down upon that. I'm saying, you know how you get your oil check? That's a sign that lets you know your engines is operating correctly. If you ever feeling comfortable around large groups of people, you need to check yourself. Now, how you can combat not feeling comfortable is start walking around in your own world. Say to yourself, you can do little stuff like this. You can say, conscious, I'm putting up an invisible shield all around me. Watch. And y'all gonna come back and you're gonna comment and you're gonna give testimonials. And some of you all already probably do that. And you're gonna leave testimonials in the comment section. I wanna read it. I wanna see how many people already practice that, or how many people are going to start practicing invisibility. You see, this is just another lesson to go along with the loneliness thing that we've been speaking about and the other things that we are building up on this channel. So we got the loneliness, embracing loneliness. We got the monkship. Now we got this invisibility, staying invisible. And what you will find when you start operating on staying invisible, all of them psychic vampires, they're gonna start falling away because they don't have nothing else to siphon upon. No more psychic energy to vampire from you because you done gave it up. You basically gave up the ghost. You see, you resurrected into a new you. You can die in this lifetime. Now, I'm talking spiritually. You can die and be reborn just by taking on this concept. And I bet you when you start doing this, your weight is going to get better. Your health is going to get better. Everything, your cholesterol is going to lower. Everything about you, any problems that you got, going on in your life, all of that stuff will just fall away. Relationship problems, all them worries and stress. Once you start practicing this invisibility, the enemy can't see you. And since this is a war, if they can't see you, they can't what? Right. They can't target you. Because they can't see you, they can't put their sights on you. Out of mind, out of sight. They can't put the rifle scope or the rifle sight on you because you will be invisible. You won't be an easy target for them. You see, sometimes when situations happen in my life, I say to myself, I could have prevented that if I didn't even mess with that person. If I wouldn't even have spoke to that person, I could have prevented this from happening. Sometimes we got to take responsibility of our own actions, you see, because we have a free will and we have to practice that being responsible. You see, sometimes it can be us because we choosing to go back into that world when really we could just leave it. I just wanted to get up, just show y'all some stuff on the rooftop. You know what I'm saying? You can just, I told myself today, I'm gonna start coming to this place where I'm at, and I'm gonna start coming to the rooftop. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Chilling out here on this roof, man. Find you a place in your city. It can be a coffee shop. Go back to one of the back tables. Put a magazine in your face. Put your headphones on. Watch. Over time, you're not gonna feel lonely. See, once you change your frame of thinking, and once you say to yourself that I am with myself, I'm having a good time with myself. Sometimes, I'm not crazy what I'm about to tell you, but sometimes I put the phone to my ear in public. Number one, just to get people's attention off of me. And number two, I'll be having actual conversations to myself. I'll be on the phone, pretending I'm on the phone. I'll be saying stuff like, yeah, man, I'm going down this aisle right here, picking up this anything, like random thing. I'm going down this aisle, picking up a bag of Doritos. Oh yeah, man, I just came out to the store real fast to, you know, pick up a gallon of coconut milk and some cereal, some bran flakes or something like that. And guess what? These people don't know what you're doing. They don't know if you're talking to somebody or not. But what you're doing two things. You're deflecting people away from you. And at the same time, you're looking like you're a part of the society by being on the phone, being connected, you know, talking on the phone, on the phone lines like everybody else. But really, you're not. Really, you just communicating with yourself. And when you start doing that, what will happen is you will give that loneliness an identity. You see, you will make it an actual being. Give it life. You see what I'm saying? Like, start walking, and it's creative force that you are putting into. It's your own creative force that you're putting into your own self. Creating a duplicate, almost like a clone. It's like you creating a spiritual clone of your own self. That's deep, ain't it? I think so. We talk about clones, and let me get back to my trusty little chair. I think so, man. I think it's swift when you think about it. You creating a clone of your own self. A person, a friend that'll never backstab you. It'll never look down upon you. It knows all of your secrets. It has forgiven you for all of your skeletons in the closet. It has been there with you through thick and thin. You can trust your loneliness in every aspect, dimension of your life. That's what I'm saying. And you're not crazy. Who are they to define us? People with no souls gonna tell us we crazy. That's what crazy is. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. This world is crazy. The fact that people with no souls control the world. That's crazy. That's crazy. So never feel like you are out of place. Never feel like something is wrong with you because you different. Who are they? They nothing, man. These people are nothing, man. They can't. They not even on our level, man. We got something they don't got. We got a soul. What is a soul? A collection of information. We have what they don't have. We have a collection of information. Something they don't got. So never let them make us feel inadequate. Don't ever make them make us feel less than. You know, we way greater than them. We jaguars. And at the same time, this don't mean we no pushovers. We just practice invisibility. What we say the invisibility. Hold on. All right. The invisibility is our offense. Is our defense. Defense, like they say, how many of y'all watch basketball? Defense creates offense. It's like a backdoor cut. You got the players on your team defending against the other team players from getting in your path. So what they did, they set up a backdoor cut where you go backdoor, receive the pass, and you get an easy layup. For the basketball heads out there, you know what I'm talking about, a backdoor cut. That's what I'm saying. Being invisible creates offense because you lessen the chances of spiritual blocks getting in your path. It's like on a football field. That invisibility is like the defensive linesmen. You hiding behind them. You see what I'm saying? That's what this thing is about. Strategizing and stand true to yourself and stand invisible. I want to go on and on and on, people, but I'm going to end this video right now. Tell me what y'all think. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the Instagram yet, go ahead and do that at Left Side of the Brain 2. And if you haven't donated to the Patreon yet, we would very, very, very much appreciate it. Any amount is appreciated. Go ahead and do that. www.patreon.com/Left Side of the Brain. And to all the Jaguars, enjoy the rest of your day. This is Left Side of the Brain signing out.